Hey y'all, Jamie here with Country Diggers. Today I'm going to take you to the Pennsylvania Dutch country in the hills of Hexenberger, which in German it means Witch Mountain. And I'm going to be singing the song Hexie by Cindy G. I'll be reading from wgpomeroyfoundation.org, and then I'm going to read a second article from newspapers.com, The Republic, of October 1950. Stories reveal hauntings down in Turkeyfoot region. All right, Hexie by Cindy G. Let's go back to a different time. The year was 1789. To a place named for the Witch of the Hills. They called it Hexie. They call it that still. Priscilla rode on a big white steed, her father's gift of pedigree. For he had great wealth and she was well bred, though she screamed like a banshee. With the crazy things she said, like, when I die, I'll make the heavens sing. I'll come back and this curse I'll bring. Though my body may pass on, my spirit will remain in these Pennsylvania hills, called Hexie by name. On Indian trails like Turkeyfoot path, upon her horse she rode so fast, from the mountains stump to Piney Run, all through Hexie her legend lives on. Some still hear her say, when I die, I'll make the heavens sing. I'll come back and this curse I'll bring. Through my body may pass on, my spirit will remain in these Pennsylvania hills, called Hexie by name. All right, and you just repeat it. So, okay. All right, this is from the William G. Pomeroy Foundation.org. The historical marker of Hexenberger. Hexenberger, aka Hexie, or Witch's Hill, lore tells of witches casting spells in the area, thought to be named after a reputed witch, Prissy Rugg, in the early 1800s. The Pennsylvania Center for Folklore, William G. Pomeroy Foundation, 2023. Often referred to as Hexie or Witch's Hill, Hexenberger boundaries are exclusive or elusive, not to be found on any official map. Yet its lore is deeply engraved in the generational memory of Turkeyfoot Valley residents. Hexenberger's legend stars Priscilla Prissy Rugg, a figure whose name still induces a palatable blend of awe and apprehension. While tales of witchcraft in the region are widespread, Prissy's story is particularly notable, as she was not one to conform to the conventional roles of her time. Far from being the consequential housewife, she was a maverick with a fearsome reputation. Legends tell of her riding her pristine white horse through the hills of Hexie, casting hexes upon those who incurred her wrath. The mere sight of her approaching would send neighbors scurrying for cover. Though Prissy left the mortal realm in 1837, her legacy is not forgotten. The legend lives on in ghostly tales, newspaper snippets, books, and songs that reverberate through the Turkeyfoot Valley. The haunting specter of Prissy on her white steed remains a poignant image for many, casting a long shadow over the hills. Okay, this is an article from newspapers.com. It's from the Republic, and it's October 26, 1950. Stories reveal hauntings down in Turkeyfoot region. Somerset County may be less thickly populated by witches, and ghost than the English countryside is. But stories about local ghosts and witches are just as interesting as those about English spooks and hexes. The only difference is that Somerset countries do not do not cherish their ghosts the way the English do. Most of the research into the supernatural in Somerset County has been concentrated in the Turkeyfoot region, where Mrs. Nellie A. Brock of Ursulina has found the material for her writings about ghosts and witches for a group which is conducting a survey on the subject. Ghost Rider. The Hexenberger region has a ghost horse and rider which haunt a spot where berries are abundant. Berry pickers and lumbermen have heard the galloping hoofbeats of a ghost horse which seems to plunge down a steep hillside and come to a stop. Then they say horseshoes fly, and silence returns. The horse is said to be the mount of a ghost of a tempestuous woman who, before passing into the other world, would mount a white horse and make it circle a stump several times while she waved her arms madly and shouted that she would return to make this welcome ring. The Hexed Woman. In the same locale, there was a witch who, like her tempestuous neighbor, rode a white horse. The witch not only rode, but she could fly. A woman of that era was bewitched by the flying witch in a physical manner, so that she suffered a nervous disorder. The hexed woman then went to the witch doctor in Scottsdale, who counteracted the hex and cured the woman's nervous disorder. Mrs. Brock says she has found that wherever there is a witch, there is also a witch doctor to counteract bad hexes with good spells. However, the woman who was bewitched by the flying equestrian was unable to locate the witch doctor in her area. Supernatural powers. At the present time, there is a woman of foreign extraction in the Skeleton region who is alleged to have supernatural powers. The story goes that the reputed witch noted a man peering in her window one night and told him that he might not look at her that night, but he would do it the next night. The following day, the man became blind in one eye. It is reported that there are or have been other witches in the Turkeyfoot region, but tracking down the evidence is very difficult. The people who know about witches and believe in them are very reluctant to talk due to the risk of being hexed. People who know about ghosts are generally more longatious, since the hanas are not harmful. The headless ghost. Ichabod Crane's Headless Horseman had nothing on a little girl who up until a few years ago haunted the Humbert Road. The little girl ghost seemed to have no head so far as anyone could tell, but may have had a small deformed head, which was concealed by a scarf. The little girl was an illegitimate child and was treated brutally by her father. She died probably as a result of harsh treatment and was buried along the Humbert Road, along which she wandered until the headstone on her grave was broken into small pieces by a road construction crew. Since then, she seems to rest and no longer haunts the road. Musical ghost. The Philadelphia Rocks, a bed of large rocks with fissures large enough for a person to walk through, are supposed to be haunted. The rocks, which are located about 1/4 mile to the left of the Springfield Pike, Legislative Route 55040 near Scullington, were supposed to have been the hiding place for large sums of money stolen in Philadelphia and sent here to be concealed by a band of Somerset County robbers who were affiliated with the Philadelphia Thugs. All right, if you people in Pennsylvania can find that, there you go, treasure hunters. There's your sign. But the Somerset County robbers, most of whom were from the Kingwood area and were led by Adam Dietz, murdered an organ grinder and threw his body into the rocks. Music from the murdered man's organ is now heard coming from the rocks at night. The hamlet of Ursulina has had 2 ghosts with interesting backgrounds. Springing trapdoor. The first of these ghosts haunts a house which was built sometime during the 1870s and used as an inn while the B&O was being built. The proprietor of the inn at the time was Mike Hurley, who was a host to many railroaders. One night, a peddler came to the inn and has never been known to leave the building. He was supposed to have had $3,000 when he came to the inn. For years afterwards, part of his pack kept turning up in the rafters of the house. There is a trapdoor leading into the attic, which it was impossible to keep closed until the present owner recently found a way of fastening it securely. The tenants of the house always made certain that the trapdoor was closed when they went to bed, but it was always open when they got up in the morning. The Sycamore Inn in Ursulina was the scene of a murder years ago. A group of Irishmen were engaged in a rather hot gambling game, and apparently there was a dispute between 2 of the players. One of the men pulled a knife and fatally stabbed his opponent. The victim's ghost returned to the inn to haunt it, and sounds of no human origin were heard there at night. These stories of witches and ghosts are only a few of the ones that are told in the county, but these have been compiled and written down at various times. All right, hope y'all enjoyed. I don't believe any of this. I just thought it was like a fun video to do, but you cannot make me believe in this. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Bye.